Imagine an animal that has segments that repeat body parts with eyes, appendages, excretory tubules, potentially hearts, and a gut with a mouth. And these are repeated. They're repeated because of developmental genes that are expressed in each section, in each segment, that induce the same structures. So if these are eyes, then we'd have PAX6 expressed at each to induce eyes. And imagine that each segment simply replicates the structures in others. Now we have examples that are somewhat like this. The segments of earthworms can replicate structures with excretory tubules in each, and with hearts in multiple segments. And with a digestive tract, a shared digestive tract going through each segment to the end. Each of these segments is a metamer, replicating many of the functions of the whole animal as we go down the animal. So if there's an animal like that, the selective forces on it can be very different than on an animal that simply has a single segment with those features. If we have an animal with just one segment and it's using these limbs for movement, then any kind of adaptation that altered this to be, for example, a structure that could help obtain food or move food into the mouth would mean it would lose the ability to move. It would gain the ability to move food toward the mouth, but lose the ability to move. In contrast, for an animal with metamers, a mutation that, say, suppressed PAX6 anteriorly but not posteriorly. So imagine that we have HOX genes expressed as HOX1, HOX2, HOX3, HOX4, HOX5, HOX6. Mutation in which HOX1 continues to bind to an enhancer region for PAX6 and cause PAX6 expression will retain eyes anteriorly, but a mutation in the PAX6 regulatory region so that it no longer binds HOX3, no longer binds HOX5, means that we won't have PAX6 in these regions and will no longer have eyes in these posterior segments. And because the change in PAX6 is happening only in these posterior segments, we retain eyes anteriorly and the animal can still see and respond to light. The term for changes that change the function of the anterior to have it have more control over sensation and movement and other activities is cephalization, with cephal being a root for head. In addition, if we had the same mutation we mentioned earlier, such that these anterior limbs extended a little bit longer and grew two tips instead of one tip, then we'd have the potential ability to use these to fend off predators, to help capture prey, and maybe to move food into the mouth, but it's only missing the two anterior appendages, so movement still happens using the posterior appendages. So the concept of a metamer is repeated aspects of segments with multiple segments having the same functions, excretory organs here, which would be on both sides, multiple hearts, digestive system, eyes, limbs, and then the potential for specialization of anterior segments, specific regions that don't affect later sections, leading to cephalization that enables specialization of particular sections without affecting other sections.